Hi. God damn, that's... Whoa. Yeah. That much is fine. Okay, I start. Let's continue our introduction to React. First, we will take a look at how to render a data collection, like a list of name, to the screen. After this, we will inspect how a user can submit data to a React application using HTML forms. Fetch. Next, our focus shifts towards looking at how JavaScript code in the browser can fetch and handle data stored in the remote backend server. Lastly, we will take a quick look at a few simple ways of adding CSS to our React application. Rendering a collection of data modules, modules, forms, getting data from the server. Okay, I started rendering a collection modules. That's a lot. Mama. Okay. Rendering a collection module. Before starting a new part, let's recap some of the topics that proved difficult last year. Console log. What's the difference between an experienced JavaScript programmer and a rookie? The experienced one uses console.log 10,000 times more. Paradoxically, this seems to be true even though a rookie programmer would need console log or any debugging method more than an experienced one. When something does not work, don't just guess what's wrong. Instead, log or use some other way of debugging. As explained in part 1, when you use the command console.log for debugging, don't concatenate things the Java way with a plus instead of writing like no, that's a no. Separate the things to be printed with a comma. That's good. No. If you concatenate an object with a string, if you concatenate an object with a string, and log it to the console, like in our first example, the result will be pretty useless. What the hell is that? Thoo. Okay, on the contrary, when you pass objects as distinct arguments, on the contrary, when you pass objects as distinct arguments separated by commas to console log, like in separate hooks, like in second example, for the content of the object is printed to developer console as string that are insightful, if necessary, compatible. Okay. Prototype. Oh, wait a minute, I need to make a comment first. push to origin. Okay. Proof of Visual Studio Code snippet. With Visual Studio Code, it's easy to create snippet. Shortcut for quick. Okay, that's done. Okay. With Visual Studio Code, it's easy to create snippets. Shortcuts for quick generating commonly reused portions of code. Much like how sort works in that means. Another output. Instructions for creating snippets can be found here. Okay. Visual Ajax. Na mama. Okay. Read it later. Useful ready-made snippets can be found as a VS Code plugin in the marketplace. Oh, marketplace. I already have it. Instructions for creating snippets can be found here. Useful ready-made snippets can be found. The most important snippet is the one for console log command. Example clock. Yeah. Decide what we go. Will be alright. Will be alright. You know what? I'll create that. Oh. Wow. 야, 잖아, 깨도 사 있거나どうかな。まあいい。My learning. You like the folder name? You don't? Okay, sorry. ダメだよ。え ?5 で、no. You go inside there. え Go up. じゃないっすね。Can you move? Of course, but it's not moving. हट रहा है इसके टाइम में दोबारा बना लूँगा इसको. हाँ डिलीट पर है. हट रहा. What have I done?いいかな? It should work. What a January, February. हट जाओ बाप आ गया है अभी. Wow. Nice. Hi, Taiga-san, namaste. Nothing happened, nothing. What's up? How is your exam? How is your study going? What is the requirement?いいかな。お待つを。ラララ。Going smoothly, but I feel tired now. I'm also tired. I'm also very tired. when it feels like I don't want to do anything, but I cannot just stop. I have to do things. Let's go to some of this. Let's go to this. もう疲れたわ。Okay, instructions for creating snippets can be found here. The most important snippet here, snippet is the one for console.log command. Clog. I'm gonna try that. Do I not have that already? I think I have it. By DJ. Whoever this guy is. DJ. How can I use it? Mac. Windows P. Launch. Quick open. Windows P. Control P. What do you do with it? We should suggest. Mama. It doesn't work. Activation events. Alt R. What it's gonna do? Yeah, this is clue. Oh, this is clue. Hello. Console log object. What the hell is that? Okay, Emma. Console log. Prefix console. I don't know how to use it. Debugging your code using console log is so common that Visual Studio Code has that snippet built in. To use it, type log and hit the tab to autocomplete. That's the Visual Studio Code one. Hit tab autocomplete. More fully featured console log snippet extension can be found here. Okay. JavaScript arrays. From here on out, we will be using the functional programming operators of the JavaScript arrays such as find, filter, and map. Find, filter, and map all of the time. If operating arrays with functional operators feel foreign to you, it is worth watching at least the first three of the part of the map. I have no problem with these. What's wrong with it? Get that out of here. Boy. Event handlers revisited. Based on last year's course, event handling has proved to be difficult. It's worth reading the revision chapter at the end of the previous part. Event handlers revisited. If it feels like your knowledge on the topic needs some brushing up, I think it's fine. Passing event handlers to the child component of the components of the app component has read some questions. Passing event handlers to the child component of the app components has to read some questions. A small revision on the top. No, it's fine. What's wrong with this thing? Find filter map, okay? Like find and filter elements through the function. Return first all values that make it return true, okay? And then map is creates a new array from results of calling function for every element. Okay, got it. Rendering collections. Now we will build the front end or the user interface, the part users see in the browsers using React, similar to the example application from part 1. Let's start with the following. Where is this thing getting its prompts from? Main. That looks like that. Okay. The main will have this. I will write it. Be my hands const. Array of objects id 1. HTML is easy. Imports into No, the other ones we do that only. In that okay. In that fine. Easy browser can execute. Get post or okay, React map nodes. Yep. Nodes. Props. Gonna look like that. H1 nodes. What's wrong with you? Nodes. What else? Oh, that's unordered list. And list. Nodes from 0 index. Content property. Sir. So then subtitle. Get post all that. Every node contains. What's the topic name? Relay collection, of course. Every node contains its textual content, a boolean value for marking whether the node has been categorized as important or not, and then also a unique ID. Every node okay. Every node contains a textual content, a boolean value for marking whether the node has been categorized as important or not, and also a unique ID. That's the example above works due to the fact that there are exactly 3 nodes in the array. A single node is rendered by accessing the object in the array by referring to a hard-coded index number. This is of course not practical. We can improve this by generating React elements from array objects using the map function. Nodes map. Yup. Nodes array map function. That's not how you do it. Nodes array map function, and then we take the node. Actually, you know what? We take the node, and we give mama. It's only one. So that like that. That's a. Oh, this is okay. And now the node and content. Node dot content only. It's gonna do like that, so it's fine. It's fine. With you, but it's gonna go. Of course, that's an error. It's not an error. Unordered list. If we go like that, that's so. The result is an array of. The result is an array of. Yeah. The result is an array of list element. List like that, like that. Make us say it where each child in list. Yeah, of course. I know that also. Tiny llama marker. Hiding ID. We'll get that later. Because the code generating the li tags is JavaScript, it must be wrapped in curly braces. It must be wrapped in curly braces. What am I? It must be wrapped in curly braces in the JSX template. Just like all other JavaScript code, we will also make the code more readable by separating the arrow function, this declaration, occur multiple lines. Who does that? That's fine. Ain't that fine? That's fine. Key attribute. Even though the application seems to be working, there is a nasty warning in the console. Yo, what the hell? It's like that. Even though the application seems to be working, there is a nasty error warning in the console. Key as the linked React page in the error message, such as the list items, the element generated by the map method must each have a unique key value with an attribute called key. The element generated by the map method must each have a unique key value and attribute called key. Let's add the keys. We'll just go with notes ID. Here note ID only, because corresponding one. Okay, let's add the keys. And the error message disappears. No other interactive content. Okay. But if I save it, it's because that's why. That's fine. React uses the key attribute of the error message disappears. React uses the key attributes of object in an array to determine how to update the React uses the key attributes of objects in an array to determine how to update the view generated by a component when the component is re-rendered. More about this in React documentation. We'll read about it a little. Oh my lord. Who reads that? Me. Option to resetting state with the key. There is also another more generic way to reset a component state. You might have seen keys when rendering lists. Keys aren't just for lists. You can use keys to make React distinguish between any component. By default, React uses order within the parent. First counter, second counter. How does orders? React uses orders within the parent, first counter, second counter, to discern between components, but keys let you tell React that this is not just a first counter or a second counter, but a specific counter. For example, Taylor's counter. This way, React will know Taylor's counter whenever it appears in the tree. In this example, the two counters don't share state, though they appear in the same place. Use default as player set, player use true. If player true, that on click, gets that next player. Counter scores and how. Class name plus well. I need to play something in the back. God damn, I'm falling asleep. Person score button on clicks it. Switching between Taylor and Sarah does not preserve the street. This is because you gave them different keys. Different keys. Specifying a key tells React to use key itself as a part of the position instead of their order within the parent. This is why even though you render them in the same place in JSX, React sees them as two different counters, and so they will never share state. Every time a counter appears on the screen, its state is created. Every time it is removed, its state is destroyed. Toggling between them resets their state over and over. Every time it is removed, every time a counter appears on the screen, its state is created. Every time it is removed, its state is destroyed. Toggling between them resets the state over and over. Notes. Remember that keys are not globally unique. They only specify the position within the parent. They only specify the position within the parent. In the chat app, the chat component contains the text state input. Try entering something into the input and then please press Atlas or Wow to choose a different recipient. Try entering something into Try editing something into the input, then press L as well to choose between recipients. You will notice that the input state is preserved because the chat is rendered at the same position in the tree. Chat component contains the text input. Try entering something into the input and then press Alice Bob or choose a different recipient. You will notice that the input state is preserved because the chat is rendered at the same position in the tree. In many apps, this may be desired behavior, but not in a chat app. Chat app. You don't want to let the user send a message they already typed to a wrong person due to an accident. Click to fix it, add a key. Add a key like that. This ensures that when you select a different recipient, the chat component will be recreated from scratch. That component will be created from scratch, including any state in the tree below it. React will also recreate the DOM instead of reusing them, so you to knowledge. React uses key attributes of object in arrays to determine how to update the view generated by a component when the component is re-rendered. I'm fucking sleepy. I'll be back. I will be back. पता नहीं क्या ही चल रहा है. What up, Akshit? I don't think you're here. You here, buddy? कहीं प्यार ना हो जाए. Okay. Okay, let's do it. It's fucking fun. Okay, sorry. Okay, map, understanding of the array. Method map works is crucial for the rest of the course. The application contains an array called nodes. That's nodes. Let's pause for a moment and examine how map works. If the following code is added to, let's say, the end of the file. If the following code If the following code is added to, let's say, the end of the file, result nodes.map node.id. Nodes not.id. 1 2 3 will be 1 2 3 will be printed to console. Map, isn't it gonna create an array like that, and result, this is okay, will be printed to the console. A map always creates a new array, the elements of which have been created. Okay. 1 2 3 will be printed to the console. A map always creates a new array, the elements of which have been created from the elements of the original array by mapping using the function given as the parameter to the map method. The function is, boom, it's an arrow function, which is an arrow function written in compact form. The full form would be this return this. We are returning, okay, that's a return. We return that only. The function gets a node object as a parameter and returns the value of its id field, changing the command to result nodes.map node.content will give you an array give you an array containing the contents of the nodes. This is already pretty close to the React code we used. Mama, which generates this, generates it, like it's returning this list tag with the key attribute to be set to this node id and node content. Nahi pyar na. Which generates a list containing the contents of the node from each node object, because the function parameter passed to the map method. Because the function parameter passed to the map function, this map method is this is used to create view elements. The value of the variable must be rendered inside curly braces. Is used to create view elements. The value of the variable, the value of the variable, the value of the variable, the value of the variable must be rendered inside curly braces. What? The value of the variable must be rendered inside curly braces. Try to see what happens if there are braces are removed. The use of curly braces will cause some pain in the beginning, but you will get used to them soon enough. The visual feedback from reactors are measured. कहीं प्यार ना हो जाए. App. Sorry, anti-pattern array indexes is okay. Anti-pattern array indexes as keys. We could have made the error message on your console disappear by using the array indexes as keys. Array indexes as keys. The indexes can be retrieved by passing a second parameter to the callback function of the map method. Map and I. Yeah, of course. Neither bata tujhe kya ho. Okay. Like item, index, and then array. That is the third one. Kendorf. Fur. Which array are you talking about? It calls the function for each element of the array and returns the same result. Map is often ma. んばんは。またコーディングか。はい、またコーディングですよ。こんばんは。My lord. Okay, what was I doing? Anti-pattern array indexes as keys. We could have made the error message on our console disappear by using the array indexes as keys. The indexes can be retrieved by passing a document. Porre. Everything is fucking frustrating. We could have made the error message on our console disappear by using the array indexes as keys. The indexes can be retrieved by passing a second parameter to the callback function of the map method. My notes dot map node I. When called like this, I is assigned. When called like this, I is assigned the value of the index of. When called like this, I is assigned the value of the index of the position in the array where the node resides. As such, one way to define the loop generation without getting errors. God damn it. Such as one way to define the loop generation without getting errors. This is however not recommended. Can create undesired problems. Even if seems to be working just fine. Read more about it article and that. Fuck is that? Okay, I'll be back. I need to do something else. God damn. I'll be back and